You know how my 3 is the longest one?
Yeah.
My 4 is very short, like 25 days.
25 days.
So this was around the time when, after X3, maybe like 2 years, like I didn't want any relationship. I went secluded, and so this was around the time when I was going back out again and thinking of relationship and working on myself. So this was online, so that's why it's also short and
Hmm.
long distance. But the connection, I guess, it's like first time meeting someone who thinks similarly because he's also intuitive. So like having different opinions compared to usual people I know. And it's like, oh, you also think that? Oh, like honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like the whole duration was just honeymoon phase. And I guess it also didn't help that he kind of transitioned jobs during that time. So he was free to honeymoon phase.
Mm.
And when he went back to having a job, that was when he got busy. I got used to that. So it's like while I was trying to improve myself, this is where I realized that being with him, like trying another relationship, I realized the things that I couldn't improve by myself without the factor of having someone, the duo, kind of me realize those things that I still need to improve.
Oh, okay.
So I guess it's like, I guess in a way, even though it was short, it's like training or making me realize you need to work on this too. Like honeymoon facing, neediness, and oversharing. Which the things that I carried on from X3, like how I got used to those things, I realized, oh, I'm still doing that. I didn't realize. And
Mm.
yeah, so with him, he found that as me not being compatible with him because it's like I want someone who is more present, whereas he's more the kind that's independent and he has this mode where he doesn't want to be disturbed by me. Like there's a limit which I wasn't okay with because after honeymoon phasing is like a quick crash.
I see.
But I guess, yeah, this one made me realize good points of what else to improve, which kind of boosted me in the improvement high.
But how did you learn those things if it was
Mm,
so long distance and online?
Oh, so I guess we were almost every day we were video chatting despite the time difference, so like day and night. And it's like I just hit the unpause button. It's like I was still myself with X3, but with a new person who was more aligned with me in the way he thinks.
Mm.
But I was still the unhealthy me. That
Mm.
kind of
Okay.
realization.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah. So after that, just improved more. Like I got to realize more things to work on.
I see.
Oh, there's one thing, savior complex. Like wanting to be someone who makes it better for that person. Like you meet a broken person or not too broken, but there's something they're broken about
Mm-hmm.
and then you will help make it better. So that one
Mm.
happened with X3 and 4, which I realized, I have that
As
kind
in,
of
they
thing.
made you better, or did you make them better?
Oh, I think I made them better or helped that if they have this goal and I will help them reach that. Like I will be the one to
Mm.
help them reach that. In X3, for example, since childhood, his mom has been in a different country, he's never met her. So it's like, at the start, it's like, okay, we will make that come true. That dream will come true. Like we'll work on that.
Oh,
And
and you
with
helped
the,
him.
somehow, I guess, but not directly, not exactly, but more the support, which was kind of ironic because when he finally met his mom again, that was around the time we broke up. So
Oh,
it's like, okay, achieved next.
yeah, it's funny how things work out. That sounds a bit poetic.
Yeah. I think, yeah, my friend told me don't go being attracted to broken people and then trying to heal or fix them because it's not good. And then you feel guilty, you can't leave. So I guess that was one of my thing there from 3 and maybe 4, like wanting to improve the other person. Like I was managing X3 to improve
Mm.
him and improve us, which I think I still carried to my current relationship at the start, but then somehow I'm realizing I need to improve myself. I focus on myself and he's also doing that. So yeah, X4 is the self-improvement realization trigger.
Oh, I see. Actually, you talking about X4 also reminds me of some more learnings that I didn't mention about my second X.
Oh,
I'd say that I had a lot of self-improvement learnings from there as well. There were quite a few things that I did or said that were quite immature, wasn't very
mm,
good at processing my emotions,
mm,
and he would point that out in a way that would make me reflect. So I thought that was good. I think that,
mm,
like I said, the practicality part of our relationship didn't work that well because of
mm.
different goals and dreams and priorities. But in terms of emotional maturity, I'd say that he had it there and he was good at helping me improve mine as well.
Kind of imagining how he is. I can imagine that the self-improvement, but the practical stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't just
Hence,
like the comfortability of being able to see him at any time, but also
mm,
feeling like he was helping me improve myself in
mm,
ways that I hadn't before. It was like an awakening
yeah.
for me. Yeah. Are you done with X4?
Yeah, yeah. How
Okay.
about your report?
Oh, how much time do I have? My X4 is like, it's a little bit long. The
Sure.
time that we spent together is probably the same amount as my other two longest relationship. I think I might have told you about this person before, but basically to sum it up, I'd say they were very toxic. And because they were toxic, they brought out the worst in me. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe in turn, I also brought out the worst in him. So it was a really unhealthy relationship. I'd say that the red flags were shown right from day one. You could say I kind of ignored them, but I'd also say that I kind of didn't
Ah,
know better. Kind of.
ah.
So basically, the things that he displayed, I had read about before and I have witnessed in another person before, but I had never dated that sort of person before. So
Mm,
I guess it was really easy to give excuses for them and think,
yeah.
oh, we're both just nervous and this is new.
Mhm.
We don't know each other. Give him a chance. Don't be so
Yes,
judgy.
yeah. That
But
that idea of maybe he'll change for the better.
yes, exactly. Like that's what I was thinking basically the whole
Mm,
relationship. But after many, many times where it was shown that it would not ever get any better, I guess I reflected a lot and thought in hindsight it's always been really bad at kind of making excuses to stay in something that felt relatively comfortable. So yes, it probably goes without saying that my main learning about this one is to not ignore red flags from the
yeah.
start. Like you said so
Mm-mm.
eloquently before, time wasted is already time wasted. I also had that thought throughout the relationship of, oh, this is not good and I'm very unhappy and this is not long term for sure, but
Mm-mm.
I've already invested this much, so I should keep trying. So I tried until I realized that there is no point in continuously trying. We actually broke up when we both got COVID for the first time.
Oh,
And it was really funny because I hear about a lot of people getting brain fog, which I did get too. But at the
oh,
same time, I felt like I had some sort of weird clarity as well. Like my brain was foggy about everything, right? If I
mm,
wanted to think about what do I need to cook tonight or what I need to
yeah,
think about work, I just couldn't process it. But in terms of my relationship, it was so clear in
yeah.
my head. What the hell are you doing with this person? Break up with him right now.
Like it
Yeah.
made you face the thing that you've been busy to face before because you
Yeah.
couldn't do much, right? They were sick.
Yeah, I feel like I
Mm.
was procrastinating the whole time.
Did it end well?
I guess it depends what you define as well. It
Oh,
wasn't a like explosive, dramatic breakup or anything. Surprisingly, I called him when we were both sick in our respective
oh,
houses in isolation. I was just like, hey, I think we should end this. And he was like, yeah, I agree. And then we're like,
oh,
okay,
okay.
bye. Okay, bye. That was it basically.
Wow.
After all of that, after those explosive arguments, all of that energy we put into that
Mm,
relationship, the end was so anticlimactic.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was obvious to, well, anyone that ever saw us arguing, not many people saw, that we would be arguing every weekend and I'd be crying every weekend. Yes. Oh, I wanted to say,
Mm,
the person that you know that also knows this person had no
mm-hmm.
idea as well. Like, basically, everyone that were a mutual friend of his
Mm.
and mine just had no idea that we weren't
Ah,
happy and we were arguing every week. One,
ah,
because I'd say we both hit it really well, but two, he was a completely different person in front of people than he
oh,
was at home. The way he was
mm,
with me and his direct family was
mm,
completely different. Like he was a monster. And then you go
oh,
out with friends and he's like this really friendly, upbeat,
oh.
charismatic guy. It was so stark opposite.
I thought it was just how people are different towards their partner versus friends or other people, but I guess it's really different. Does it seem like he has an image he maintains when it's with other people?
For sure, for sure.
Um,
And it was very fragile. If I ever tried to intermingle the two or question it, he would blow
mm-mm.
up and get really angry.
My,
Actually, in
mm,
saying that, to elaborate on why he was so toxic, because there were a lot
mm,
of things, but one of the things is that
mm,
I felt like he only had two true emotions. Indifference and anger. Everything
oh,
else felt fake. Like I never felt like he was genuinely happy. I never felt like he was genuinely excited for something. But there are
mm,
definitely times where he's genuinely angry. And when he's indifferent, it's like
mm.
nothing matters to him. Kind of like when I broke up with him, he's like, okay, cool.
Interesting the indifference you were able to notice that it's genuine, but the happy is not.
Yeah, because those two emotions were the most common that I realized. I'd tell him things that were good or positive for me, and I feel like in a healthy relationship, that
Mm.
person would celebrate it with me, but instead I'd get indifference. I would get that emotion a lot. And
Wouldn't that?
anytime his
Mm.
identity that he tries to hide from people start cracking, he'll get really angry. Like he will wait because in front
Mm.
of people he doesn't want to show that side. And then the second we
Ah,
get home, or if it's just me and him, he's just like
ah,
quiet and angry.
it's kind of scary because you know what's coming.
Exactly. He is pretty scary.
I'm thinking, could he be like that? Because he has some social pressures, like having that image to maintain makes it difficult for someone to really be true to themselves.
But he would have put those restrictions
Mm.
on himself, right? He's
Mm.
living a
Oh,
life
yeah.
that's similar to most people in our circles.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a situation where he has to be like that. He just
Mm.
chooses, or something in him tells him that he has to be like that.
And I'm guessing now that this one led you to like imagine updating your requirements.
For
That
sure. Yeah, I've never reviewed my requirements for a relationship so much until this
Mm.
person. And what I was thinking of just now was I was also talking about how people from the outside who weren't a part of the relationship couldn't tell that
Mm-mm.
we weren't having a good time.
Wouldn't your friends see how you're not well?
Uh, yeah. So around that time of my life, I didn't hang out with too many of them, and I'd say that he isolated me from a lot of
Oh,
them. And the few that I was allowed to see, according to him, were ones that were more blindsided to how he is. If that makes sense. Like
mm.
he like vetted who my friends were and who was
Ah,
allowed to talk to me more
mm.
because of how they perceive him. Yeah.
And it's really explicitly said that that kind of limit.
Well, no, he didn't say it like
Mhm.
it was a hard rule, but he
Mhm.
would express it to me by saying, "Oh, I don't really like it when you see that friend as much, or I like it when you see that friend." And so,
Ah,
as the person who's trying to be a supportive girlfriend, I'm like thinking, "Oh, I better limit how many times I
oh,
see that person then because I don't want to upset him." A little bit
see,
of manipulation or something like that. But I wanted
kind of.
to emphasize how much I gave myself excuses to stay.
Oh.
One of my friends that I was allowed to talk to, all my friends would do the generic, like, "Oh, how are you? How are things? How's it with
Mm-mm.
your boyfriend?" And then he could tell that my response was always something like, "It's okay." Then
Mm.
he would know that, oh, it's not going good. And so he tried to ask me, "Okay, tell me what you like about him." And I
Mm.
would always have no answer because there was nothing I liked about him. But yet I
Mm.
was in
True.
so much denial that it kind of didn't matter to me.
Mm.
Or like I was too, I don't know, scared or uncomfortable to confront that truth.
So even the initial thing that got you drawn to him, you don't have that anymore.
I mean, I still did, but it was overshadowed by how toxic he was. Like, it
Ah.
kind of like didn't matter at that point. It's kind of
Mm.
like how you explained with your ex. It's almost like I
Mm.
got I wouldn't say it's the same as getting the ick because getting
Mm.
the ick is quite strong,
Yeah.
but it was still like I was seeing him in a lens where everything was not as nice or positive as before. It's like
Mm.
everything he did that impressed other people, I would end up rolling my eyes at, as an example.
And I'm imagining that being authentic is something that made it into the list.
For sure.
Like not having a hidden side different from what other people see.
Or at least I know that it's reasonable to a certain extent. I'm definitely not the same person I am with
Oh
than I
yeah.
am with my colleagues, for example. But
Like,
if it's a totally stark contrast and you're treating me differently in a very negative way, like I feel like it's kind of specific. Just the
mm,
way he does it is not it.
it just made me think the way he treats you like that is kind of controlling, right?
Yeah.
And is it coming from wanting to maintain the image he has? So you have to be part of it too, to control you too? Or is it more to control you for your sake, like making you better or something?
It's definitely not for my good. His number one priority in life was concealing that identity that he hid
Mm-mm.
away for people that like him or like who show love to him in a more unconditional way. Everyone else, he's just always constantly trying to win over. His
Even
friends
he.
would only see his good side. I remember this one time that we were hanging out with his friends
Mm.
and one of his friends were making fun of him about something that he was quite insecure about and he wouldn't even show it to his friend, like he would just kind of lightly laugh about it. But then at night, when it's just me and him and we've separated
Mm.
from his friends, from my point of view, he's suddenly in a bad mood, like in a really
Uh,
bad mood. From no problem, I'm just chill to
mm.
nah, I'm not having any jokes, anything. I'm in a really bad mood. And I realize
Mm,
afterwards, because he would explain to me after we argue and everything,
mm.
that he was upset by his friend's comment. And that's
Um,
a good example, right? Where he's upset
mm-mm.
at someone else, but he'll only take it out on me. He won't
Ah,
bring it up to that other person at
yeah.
all costs. So I'd
Mm,
get the brunt of all the bad
yeah.
sides of him. I actually made like pages and pages and pages of notes about him because I was
Oh.
trying to use it to convince myself to break up with him at the time. But since then, I've slowly
Mm,
started to delete a lot of them because I'd rather forget him.
mhm.
I definitely don't want to forget the learning
Yes.
and don't want to forget how badly I can be treated. Other than that, I'd rather forget him and forget the memories and how it felt to be with him, because how
Mm.
it felt to be with him was quite miserable.
So you mentioned that you wrote note during you were still with him.
Yeah.
So what was the stronger pull that made you stay? Like, is it really the time invested? Did he have some positives that made up for the negatives that made it difficult for you to really stop?
I feel like the positives were related to his friends because he had
Mm.
like really nice friends and really nice family that made me feel
Uh,
welcome. So it's almost like the whole world associated to
uh,
him was really nice.
But he himself wasn't nice.
so it will be like leaving not just the relationship, but the family now and the friends.
Yeah, it's almost like I liked the life associated to him. I just didn't like him.
Mm.
But obviously, he's the main part of the relationship, so
Mm.
that didn't matter. It's just over time, I grew fond of his friends and his family. There's
Mm. So
probably a
the
few other things. I just got to think
mm,
about it because I feel like I've tucked this away in my head because my brain's been trying to forget it, I guess. You know, there were a few times the friend that I mentioned who
mm,
was questioning me about this relationship. We've
mm,
talked about it since the time I broke up with him, and he would
mm.
remind me of certain memories. And I've realized that I've tucked it away so much that I fully forgot it. Selective amnesia.
Uh, but what would you say the main learning from this relationship?
Don't settle. Like, I think part of the reason why I
Ah,
stayed was because I had lower self-esteem, and I'm not sure if it's because of
mm,
how he made me feel or maybe my baseline was
mm,
lower at that time of my life. You know, like
mm,
you have that thought of, oh, like
yeah,
it's not that bad. You keep telling yourself it's not that bad, or this
yeah,
is how adult relationships are supposed to be
uh,
like. Because in a way, it felt like my first adult relationship. I would stay the night at his, and he would stay the night at mine, and we meet each other's
mhm,
families. So it felt like my first serious adult one. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe all these fights and stuff are normal. You know, that's what I also told myself at the
yeah.
time. Damn, in this moment, I wish I had my
Mm.
notes because there was so much tea.
Oh yeah, did that experience make you extra careful the next time? Like,
For sure. It made me purposefully vow to myself that I would be single for at least a year before I get into another relationship so that I can think clear-headedly and use
mhm,
that time to continue reflecting and experience more of being single and what that can do for me because I didn't have too much of that time being single as an adult.